Hi sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sing. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash the subscribe button, turn on the notification so you get notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I want to say a very big shout out to every one of you for always coming back to watch my videos, supporting me, and all the love. You all are super awesome. Thank you all so much, and I am truly grateful. I want you all to know this. So today we'll be talking about something really very important. It's actually about a black woman who was saying that that black people deserves reparation, right? Because America was built on the past, like it was built by black Americans, right? And she also went further to say how MLK's Junior's like his view promotes also reparations. And you know what? A white man from nowhere decided that he had something to say about black Americans, and he knows so much about black Americans, and he can talk on black America, like he have rights to talk about black Americans, and went further to change MLK Jr.'s quote to suit what he wants to talk about. And you know what? People are not finding it funny. Stay glued to the screen. Let me roll this clip. We'll come back to talk about it. And I absolutely want to read your comments. Let me know what you all think about this in the comment section. And straight up, let me roll the clip.
People are real comfortable lately with diversity. They're real comfortable with inclusion. But when you ask them about giving us some reparations because this country was built on the backs of black people for free, no one wants to talk about that. And that was really a big part of his dream.
Actually, a big part of his dream, Sonny, was by judging people based on the content of their character rather than the color of their skin. And by engaging a reparations type of program in the United States, you are quite literally doing the opposite, and you are judging people based on the color of their skin rather than the content of their character. Reparations never really made sense to me, and think of this example. A white baby and a black baby could be born today, and you're telling me that the white baby instantly owes the black baby money based just on the color of their skin, something that they can't control. How is that supposed to make up for the trials and tribulations of slaves years ago? It doesn't. Sonny, your message of reparations is just going to cause more division in the country.
So I was able to gather so many stitches, and people are not finding it funny. People think that he is not old enough. I mean, he is not mentally mature enough to talk about this because he got nothing to talk about. And when he is ready to talk about reparation, he should go back and read his history, because I feel like he does not know anything about history, and he is incapable of talking about reparations. Stay go to the screen. Let me roll the stitches. Then we'll come back to talk about it. Also, I also want to read your comments. So let me roll the stitches.
A big part of his dream, Sonny, was by judging people based on the content of their character rather than the color of their skin.
What Martin Luther King Jr. said was, "I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character." His dream was for his 4 little children. It was for black people. And I know that people like you have a hard time being told this, but it was not for you. In your bio, I'm not woke because I do enjoy a good nap. You're not woke because woke is another thing that is not for you. If you're going to be proud of your ignorance, don't pretend like you know something.
Dream.
Actually, a big part of his dream.
Hi, honey. It's Her Majesty, and if you really want the truth, just come to my booth. So I would just like to say the audacity of you to even think that you can interpret what a black man meant for his dream screams white privilege. And you're the reason why this country is still divided and why we're still having problems with race and having these discussions now. Okay? No black person in their right mind would speak up against reparations because we know what that money could do for us. It could get us doctors that won't kill us. It could get us police officers that won't shoot us. And we could actually build our own economy that actually supports us as people and not our oppression. But we're not even going to talk about that. We're going to get into your analogy with whether the white baby owes the black baby something just for being born. Now, that doesn't make sense when you think about it, right? But and the complete opposite, that black baby owes that white baby something when he's born today in 2023. He owes him respect. He owes him the fact that he has white privilege and that black baby has to do what that white person says and complies, or he'll call the police, and that could end that black baby's life. So no, white babies don't owe black babies something when they're born, but it does seem like that black babies owe white babies something when they're born. So your analogy only works for your racism, and I know it's probably hard for you to believe because you feel like you're so black and you're pro-black and speaking up for us, but it's stuff like that that's holding us back. And it's not a victim mentality because we're actually survivors. It would take a lot for you guys to survive racism if the tables were actually turned. And when you say stuff like that, it just sounds like you're ignorant, but also you're afraid. It shows your real fear on why you're afraid if black people have money. Like, what are we going to do that's going to hurt white people? Why can't we have reparations? Like, Martin Luther King died because he wanted peace and equality among us. Your businesses are thriving from slavery, so why couldn't the descendants of slaves thrive from that too? If you really want equality, like you're saying, if you want a unity, like you're saying, then you have to put us on the same level as you. But of course not, because that's what the reparations would do, and you don't want that. I could tell by your last tirade about Tyree Nichols. How you use a black man to down talk a black woman screams white privilege, screams racism, and you need to do better.
You're telling me that the white baby instantly owes the black baby money based just on the color of their skin?
No, you cancerous tumor. She's acknowledging the systemic racism of being born black in the United States versus the privilege of being born white, you toe.
Judging people based on the content of their character rather than the color of their skin. And by engaging...
You know, I would much rather you say that you hadn't read any of that man's written works or watched any of his speeches in depth, because if you have, you would know that reparations was one of his biggest arguments. And honestly, the worst thing you did was quote the I Have a Dream speech, because you wouldn't dare quote it in its totality, nor would you quote the fact that he gave an interview a few years later saying that that dream that he had turned into a nightmare. Don't take my words for it, take his. Look it up. Like, man, y'all love to wrap yourselves up in that I Have a Dream speech as if that man never said anything other than that. And to be honest with y'all, from my perspective, whenever people go on platforms and say stuff like he said, you know, kind of twisting the narrative, to me it's equally as bad as the people who made racist sentiments. Because when you twist the words, you twist the fucking movement. And last but not least, surface level YouTubing and Googling would have told you that Dr. King, along with all the other activists during that time, always argued for reparations, dumbass.
Actually, a big part of his dream, Sonny, was by judging people based on the content of their character rather than the color of their skin.
Black people not judged. But this message is for anti-racists in 2023. We are done having this argument with people. We're done. For the rest of time, we're not having this argument with people. I don't care if they're conservative, liberal, leftist. If they're on our team, they should know better. And if they're not on our team, they don't want to know better. So I'm going to put this to rest one last time. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, I have a dream that one day my 4 little children will grow up in a nation where they are not judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. He's talking about his kids. And if you want to extrapolate that out to a metaphor, he's talking about black people at large. Because in the 1960s, the context that is important to this speech, white people were not judged by the color of their skin. There were not jury laws about their skin. That was black people.
Dream.
Actually, a big part of his dream, Sonny, was by judging people based on the content of their character rather...
Well, actually, that's a single line in a 17-minute speech that y'all like to quote or misquote. The actual quote is, I have a dream that my 4 little children can live in a nation where they aren't judged by the color of their skin, but the contents of their character. And considering that Martin Luther King Jr. was a black man and Coretta Scott King was a black woman, their children are probably black. I swear, y'all are like people who claim to be fans of an artist but don't buy a CD until they die. And then when we get into a conversation, do real fans know that you're being a fake fan because all you can talk about are the singles instead of anything that's like lesser known? Like, MLK did a lot of speeches about
So it's
reparations too.
always them, looking for something they are gonna pick and then twist it to suit what they want to talk about, and then come back to act like the victims. You know what? I am really tired of seeing people that are not even done reading their history books, people that do not know anything about history, people that do not know Black people's struggles, people that do not know how Black people built them. Come on here and talk some bullshit, because this is what I call bullshit. That is what it is. You know what? Looks like I am talking so much. I am just gonna chill. Let me know what you all think in the comment section, and thank you all so much for all the support. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.